Hello Sudoku friends, welcome to what I think is going to be a very hard puzzle. It is of origins unknown, at least to me, and I've just briefly studied the grid without really attempting to solve it, and it looks difficult, even though there are quite a large number of givens. But there are very few singles, if any, that make this quite difficult, I think. So without further ado, I shall get started on this one and we'll see how it goes. You will see that there's a lot of like 3, 3, and then you have 2 3s here. You have a lot of 4s down here and 4 over. So one of these is a 4 and therefore one of these is a 4, but really not a lot to sink my teeth into. In a grid like this, you might easily overlook something that is as simple as that this 7 blocks this square and this 7 blocks all of these 3 squares. And therefore a 7 must go here. And I believe we have our first digit. Now we know that the 8 and the 5 block here. So 8 and 5s must go in 2 of these 3 squares. And therefore we still need to find a 1 and a 3 for the top row. And if we look a little closer, let's examine these 3 cells. And I believe they have to be a 3, 6, and a 7, because we have a 3, 6, and a 7 here, here, and here. So we can have no more 3, 6s, and 7s in these 4 squares. Therefore, they have to go here. That means that these 4 squares need to be a 1, 2, 5, and a 9. And that is not going to help me, at least not at this stage. So these squares being occupied by not 9s, this square is blocked by this 9, and this square is blocked by this 9. This 9 blocks this square. One of these must be a 9, and one of these two must be a 4. So a 4 and a 9 in 2 of these 3 squares. I'm noticing that the 3 blocks this square, and this 3 blocks this square, this 3 blocks this square. So one of these is going to end up being 3. We also know that one of these must be a 3, of course. So this 3 blocks up here, and this 3 blocks over here. So one of these is a 3. This square must be a 2 or an 8. No, sorry, a 4 and an 8, because we still, in addition to the 3 that we found to be going in one of these 2 squares, we need to find a 2, 8, and a 4. And we got a 2 here, and that blocks this square. So this must be, I believe, a 4 and an 8. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, this is a 4 or an 8. That is a lot of smoke. But where is the fire? So I'm noticing, of course, now the 7 going up here and the 7 coming across here. So this is a 7. It was quite obvious all the time, but it just escaped me completely. This now is a 7. And now I think we've got something. For these 4 squares, we need to find a 2, 3, 4, and an 8. There's a 2 and a 3 blocking here. There's a 2 and a 3 blocking here. So this is a 4, 8, and this is a 4, 8, and this is a 2, 3. Can we do something with that? Well, we know that one of these now must be a 2. And these are 4s and 8s. Does that give me anything at all, I wonder? Well, it gives me a 6 in one of these two squares, along with a 6 in one of these two. But there are so many 6s already in the grid that it's not that helpful. Now we need a 1, 2, 4, and a 5 across this row 8. There's a 1 and a 2 blocking here. So this is a 4 or a 5. We know a 4 will block here, and we also know it would have been nice to have this square blocked by a 4 as well, because then this would have been a 4, but we are not so lucky. This is quite a tough puzzle, I have to say. I'm noticing something here. I'm noticing the 6, 7, and 8. And the 6, 7, and 8 here, they force a 6, 7, and an 8 to go in these three squares. There's a 6 and a 7 here, so this must be the 8. And these are now 6 and 7. I wonder if that is going to help any. Yes, we got the 7 and an 8 blocking over here, and we got the 7 and an 8 blocking up here. So these two squares have to be a 7 and an 8, leaving a 1, 2, and a 5 for the remaining three squares. So the 5 blocks here, therefore a 5 must go here or here, and therefore here, here, or here. But it can't go here because this is reserved for a 3, 6, or 7. So the 5 must go here or here. And now we get on with the 3, 2 here. Remember the 3 and the 2 here? If these are 7 and 8, the 2 blocking over here, one of these is a 2. And by the way, the other is a 5. Let's just keep that in mind, 5 and 2 here, making this a 1. So back to the 2. The 2 blocks here, and these two squares are blocked by 6, 7, and 8. So one of these two squares is a 2. And therefore, this square cannot be a 2. It must be a 3, and this must be the 2, and this must therefore be a 4 and an 8, as already discussed, and a 4 and an 8 here. That was possibly quite a leap forward, because now we have 2 3s blocking over like so, and the 3 blocking down, making this a 3. These have to be a 6 and a 7, and we know how they will go because the 7 blocks here. So this is a 6 and this is a 7, making this an 8 and this a 7. And this is a 7. I wonder if that was the pivotal point, because now the numbers seem to come in rapid succession. This was a 4, 8 remote pair. Now that we have the 8 in the row, this must be the 4 and this must be an 8. And these 8s block like so, and we got a couple of 8s blocking up here. So this is also an 8. We have all the 7s, by the way, now. Let's see if we can get one more 8. We block over here with 8s, and we block up here with 8s. So this is an 8. And yes, that is the last 8 in this grid. This is looking better now. Much better, I have to say. 2 4s blocking over. This is a 4. And we know that a 9 has to go in one of these two squares. And we know that because this square is blocked by this 9 and this square is blocked by this 9. The two other squares have got to be a 1 and a 5. Oh, we have a 1 and a 5 here. Look at that. So this is a 9 and this is now a 1 and a 5, making this a 9. And this is therefore a 9 and this is a 9. And we got the last 9 here. Yes, we got the 7s and the 8s and the 9s now. Yes, once we found the 7-8 combination in the center block here, I think that more or less broke the back of this puzzle. But we will finish it. This is a 1 which can't go here because of this 1 blocking, and a 6. We got a couple of 6s blocking across like this, so this is a 6. This 6 blocks up, so does this. This blocks over, so this is a 6. And now we have the 6, 7, 8s, and 9s completed for the grid. These two have to be a 5 and a 2. I remember that very, very distinctly. This is 1 and a 5. There must be something that we can do quickly before we lose momentum here. 1, 4, and a 3 here. Yes, this is not a 1 and it is not a 3, so it must be a 4. And therefore one of these must be a 4. This is a 1 and a 3 now, making these a 2 and a 5. Making this, of course, the last digit should be easy to find, namely a 5. These must now not be a 2 and a 5, but a 2 and a 4. So what's up with this column here? 1, 2, and a 5. 1, 5, no, 1. Why am I slowing down here? 1, 4, and a 5 here. We will know this is 1 and a 5 can't be a 4, so of course this is a 4, and therefore this is a 4, and this is a 2. And that would make this a 5. The 5 blocks up, the 5 blocks over, making this a 5, and this a 5, and this a 1, and this a 1, and this a 1 as well. This has got to be a 2, and this also must be a 2. Therefore, this must be a 1, and so must this. And this. And the last digit here is a 3. Finally, the 3, making this a 3. Now we just need the 2 4s and the 5s to complete this puzzle. It should be possible. This is a 5. And that is also a 5, and this is a 5. This must be a 2, and so must this. And this must be a 4, making this a 4 and this a 2. This was weird, I think, because in the beginning I thought I would never get ahead with this puzzle. But as soon as I found the 7 and the 8 in the center of the puzzle, it nearly cracked the puzzle immediately. I hope that you also enjoyed it and that you'll come back for more soon. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.